So today starts. Let me show you what we're going to do here. Bit of background. The Norton engines, they could never quite balance them correctly. They're actually a 1940s engine, would you believe, and they shake themselves to bits. Anyway, it's called an isolastic. In here, there's a series of rubber dampers that are fed on a tube through here. Mine are worn, giving back play on the rear swinging arm, and we're about to change them for vernier so we can dial the amount of, shall we say, isolasticness in. So there's one here and there's one at the very front, and purportedly, I've never done this, but Simon's done it before on his Norton Commando, so experience and all of that. We're in Simon's workshop and we're probably going to spend the best part of today swapping it from the original 1960s rubber brushed Isolastics to vernier Isolastics. It's about 80 quid for the front, 80 quid for the back, and then a tub of rubber grease. But we don't know what we're going to hit when we do this, because these are the original as fitted back in 1969. So it's going to be a tough morning, but it'll certainly last my lifetime once we've done this job. So it's a once only job. As you can see, I've isolated oil pipes, carburetors, exhaust intakes, my headlamp loom wiring, and all the other good bits associated. Ignition system, they're all been isolated. So let's see how we get on in a couple of hours.
So they're the inner Isolastics that we've just taken out.
But the internal diameter of those rubber washers, shouldn't they be tight on that shaft?
Yeah, should, yeah, that's right.
And just wiggle them. I mean,
yeah, so they're well worn. They are.
Yeah.
The outer one's not too bad. A better fit.
Yeah.
But that now leaves us obviously with a clear mounting tube.
Clean that out with some degreasing. Put some rubber grease in.
Yeah.
And then put the new
Isolastic back into it.
Vernier.
Vernier, yeah.
I've just realised, mate, Alan Milliard has a Indian tea maker in his workshop, and there's no doubt that your suit, look, you've got a little builder there.
Hang on a minute, let's turn this round.
Oh lordy. Yeah, that's, well, I wouldn't, it's bloody shotter, that is, mate.
It's a massive shotter.
Shotter. Yeah, but any similarities to you and Alan Milliard? Having said that, I don't reckon Alan Milliard's. Look, he's got his old bath loading winch in the garage, adjusting and levelling the engine. Fantastic. So what we got here, we're adjusting the end caps for the front engine mount and taking 0.x of a millimetre off the inside to allow us to get the isolastic clear space, because it's tight between the frame lugs and the length of the bonded isolastic. So yeah, it's all going well. You can see the bonded isolastic from Andover, and you can see the very worn original Isolastics. What we're trying here with the engine hoist is to move the engine forward to give us the space to do the rear one. So what we got here, Si?
So we're just taking the end caps off the Isolastics, and we're just going to remove the first rubber.
And this was the one that was giving us the grief, to be honest, wasn't it?
That's a bit oval and elliptical, isn't it? So
the inner one's completely
let's have a look
collapsed.
at the inner one, shall we? I think the inner one might tell us a different story. Look at this one.
Where's that gone?
Oh. Look at that. Look at that. There you go. So that's just about off its.
Yeah, look at it.
Off its internal.
And there you can see the rear isolastic, and how we've done it. We've used an engine hoist, unpinned the front, And you can see down there the rebuilt Vernier Isolastic ready to go on the front. And we're swinging the engine and the gearbox all in a oneer. No need to do the primary chain on an engine hoist, and a series of jacks resting on both the frame and the cradle at the rear to allow us access by swinging the engine forward to the rear isolastic. Looking at there then, Simon.
I've just taken the outer shims off the, well, it looks like the shims are just disintegrated actually for the rear Isolastics.
Yeah.
So you can see it's sort of inside there, just so there, so nothing left of the shims at all.
And that's why it was moving quite radically.
On this one.
Oh yeah, look at that. And is that the remnants of the shim?
Yeah, that's right.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bloody hell. So back onto the lathe, and we're going to just we took the end caps off, and by dead reckoning with the micrometer, we just need to create half a thou slither on the inside of this to give us that safety margin because of the complexity of the rear isolastic. Not complexity, the awkwardness of getting to it. We want to be able to build it up and do it in a oneer. So yeah, we're just putting that in the lathe and just going to take a very small amount off. Doing at the moment then, Simon.
So what we've done is we've now put the new Isolastic rubbers through and put the end caps on, and I'm just tightening up the vernier end. So it's the adjustable end of your vernier Isolastics. I'm just tightening it up so it's dead tight at the moment. So it's on the minimum dimension to get it between the lugs of the frame. So we're ready now to put the rubber covers on it and put it back into the frame.
Let's do that then.
So
what you can see here is the isolastic fixed end, and if I show you the near side, you'll see the difference. We're just going to have bacon rolls, a cup of tea, and then start refitting the engine cradle on the rear first, I suspect. So here's the near side of the bike. This lines up with this, shaft goes through with a bolt, and here you can see the assisters to get the rod that they give you. It's like an Allen key, but it's not quite an Allen key, and it goes in on the vernier, and we create the correct shimming by screwing and unscrewing, whereas previously, if we look at the old ones, you'll see here is a conventional shim, and as they wear, you have to increase the shimming. So the whole idea with the vernier is that you can adjust the gap as is needed and do away with the shimming. But yeah, that's the remnants of the front and the back. But yeah, I think that was put in Norton 1969. These are definitely the originals. And as Simon showed earlier, look, that was the debris inside, getting rid of it. So yeah, now for a cup of tea, bacon roll, and we'll crack on this afternoon.